Jigong was a Buddhist monk who lived during the Southern Song dynasty some 800 years ago. Known for his eccentric behavior and compassionate nature, he liked to offer people help whenever he could. For this, he's regarded as one of the most popular figures in Chinese history.
A great figure in the history of the Southern Song dynasty some 800 years ago, Jigong was born with the name Li Xiuyuan. He came from a noble family that had enjoyed high social status for 7 generations. Naturally, it was expected that Jigong would keep the family in the upper echelons of power and social prestige. Jigong had a lot going for him. He showed more talent than his peers during childhood and quickly became a respected poet. Later generations applauded his skill, elevating him to enjoy the same respect as Lu You, another famous Song dynasty poet. His unique talents and family background almost guaranteed that Jigong would travel down the road of fame and fortune. But this did not happen. His entire family ended up disappointed. Legend has it that Jigong fled on the night of the wedding ceremony. He chose instead to take his vows at Guoqing Temple, close of his home. The temple was built during the Sui dynasty from 581 to 618 and is the birthplace of the Tiantai sect of Buddhism. There are a total of 18 legendary arhats in Guoqing Temple's Daxiong Hall. It's recorded in legends that the statue of Mahakasyapa was knocked off its lotus throne in front of Li Xiuyuan's father on the day his son was born.
家楼老汉突然倒塌了，佛扎就跟济公的父亲说：“生了，你回去吧。”于是呢，济公的父亲就到家里，果然小济公出生了。民间说的就是济公是降龙罗汉降生的这么一个故事。
Well known in China, the teeming dragon arhat story adds an air of mystery to Jigong's life. But when scholars refer to history books, they found Jigong was destined to be a devotee of Buddhism and was born into a family of believers. One of the many rooms in Jigong's former residence is a family hall for worshipping Buddha. According to history books, Jigong's mother often prayed to Buddha in the hall when Jigong was a small child. All family members were devoted Buddhists. The character in the portrait is Li Juan, brother of Jigong's grandfather. When Jin troops invaded his country's south, Li Juan was a county chief of Southern Song dynasty, which lasted from 1127 to 1279. Li Juan used up all his wealth to recruit 600 warriors. Later, he lost his life in a battle with a numerically superior enemy.
但是就是这么一个壮举，却由于有人嫉妒他而被说成 是逃跑，所以像这样黑白颠倒的事情，当时是很多的。所以济公他了解到这个事情以后，对他思想影响是很大的。
Li Xiuyuan became an acolyte at the Guoqing Temple, a decision heavily influenced by his family and his unique understanding of truth and falsehood. However, unlike a traditional Buddhist monk who strives for virtue in a peaceful mood, Jigong was an exception, an eccentric exception. After analysis, some scholars believe that Jigong was not mad, but instead pretended to be out of mind. His eccentric behavior led common people to mistakenly believe he was a mad monk. There are 100 Jigong statues, with most of them carrying a bottle of wine or drinking wine in a Jigong museum in Tiantai County. The fact that he ate meat and drank wine is well proven in history. Why was he able to breach some of the fundamental requirements of being a Buddhist monk? Scholars found clues on a mountain near Jigong's old residence.
这座赤城山啊，古代有很多读书人，我们台州都到上面读书，其中李秀也就是一位。
A 10-minute walk from Jigong's old residence is Chicheng Mountain and the Yujing Cave, which is actually a Taoist temple. Though it occupies a small place, it is China's 6th most famous Taoist temple. In Taoism, a male monk is called Qian Dao, while a Taoist nun is called Kun Dao. Scholars think Jigong's eccentric habits, though against Buddhist teachings, has something to do with Taoist doctrine. Taoism was a religion born in China. For several thousand years, Taoist monks employed in the royal court searched for an elixir of immortality, able to keep emperors young forever. A number of men of letters and famous figures opted for life in seclusion in the mountains thanks to the mental comfort of Taoist doctrines. Apparently, they were tired of their war-ravaged existences. Beyond common people's understanding, some of Jigong's weird behavior accords with the practices advocated by Taoism.
就是我们道家哈，修行到一定的程度，它不拘泥一些小节，然后也不会受一些清规戒律的条条框框的约束。济公呢，它有一些思想，它就是说接近于我们道教的思想。道教的嘛，它就是讲那个痴察呆傻像疯癫，疯癫样子能成仙。完了，仙佛度人不嫌傻，傻到极点神悯怜。 就傻到一定的程度了，这神仙他都愿意度你。他不是那一种你真正的傻，而是一种大智若愚。他很有大智慧，而且藏在这种就是大智慧嘛，它藏于内，不表现于外。
There is a stone pagoda outside the Guoqing Temple compound where Jigong started his monastic life. The pagoda, built in the same era as the construction of the temple, symbolizes the birth of the Tiantai sect of Buddhism. By coincidence, there is a pagoda on Chicheng Mountain that's regarded as a landmark and the 6th most famous Taoist site in China. Scholars believe both Buddhism and Taoism influenced Jigong. This came thanks to the environment he grew up in. In Tiantai County, the interpretation of the Mad Monk has been made into a program designed to impress tourists. Only in Jigong's hometown can people fully understand Jigong's deeds, which are fully out of the realm of understanding for ordinary people.
这样一个和尚穿得破破烂烂的，是吧？啊，那么又吃酒又吃肉的，那么为什么会喜欢他呢？那我也去想了一想，他这里面就讲到了就是济公的一种思想和精神。为什么呢？ 他去渡人救人，他福慧济坤，他把危险的人救起来，但是把作恶的人他不把你搞死，他会给你点化掉，让你弃恶从善啊，这个才是佛门的一种真正的东西了。
In the year 1209, Jigong passed away. Many Hangzhou residents attended his funeral. In those ordinary people's minds, whether Jigong was mad or not was not an issue. Their only care was if he could help or comfort them in the time of need.